So I had done some research and found that the name of our choir, Zamir, wasn't just naming it after the bird of song or the verse from the Song of Songs, that the time of singing, Et Hazamir Higia, the time of singing is coming, which is what the people in New York thought was the... Turns out that in 1899, a choir was formed in the city of Lodz, or Łódź, Poland, L-O-D-Z, Lodz, Poland, called Hazomir. And this was a choir of people who were also negotiating their identities as modern Polish Jews. So it turns out, after the choir was founded in Lodz, Poland in 1899, there was one in Warsaw, a branch in Warsaw, and then all over Eastern Europe, they spread to Western Europe. I've found Hazomir choirs in Australia, in Mexico, in Sweden, in the United States. And this was Yiddish culture, basically. And then Yiddish culture dies out, the Holocaust does its work, and most of these choirs died out. Then I realized what we were doing was resuscitating this tradition. We're not starting something from new, even though our focus wasn't primarily the Yiddish. Although I also found out that, I mean, one of the first, the big hit song of the first Hazomir choir at their first concert in Lodz was Al Mishmar HaYarden, which was a Zionist song from what was then Palestine. So it was a mixture then, it's a mixture now. And they also sang with the Lodz Philharmonic, they sang Beethoven's Ninth, they got a great review. They were known as one of the best choirs, if not the best choir in the city. And it's, yeah, they were Jewish, but they were also the best choir. What a model that was. So we decided in 1999 that we would celebrate the centenary of the founding of the first modern Jewish secular choir by returning to Lodz, Poland. And we planned for a couple of years, we planned this amazing trip, which took us to Warsaw. We performed at the Yiddish Theater in Warsaw. We went to Lodz. The mayor of Lodz welcomed us and gave us some documents that they found from the original choir to take home with us. Wow. Beautiful ceremony at the city hall. We went into the, I get choked up just thinking about this. We went into the cemetery in Lodz. The Jewish cemeteries in Europe, many of them are in shambles. But in a sense, you know, you go to the beautifully groomed cemeteries in America, maybe that's not what it should look like. This looked like a place where there were dead people. And so we sang in the Lodz Cemetery. And I told my singers, we are now giving voice to those whose voices were silenced by the Nazis and their collaborators. And I had learned a lullaby, Mach zu die Egelach, by David Begelman, that was written in the Lodz ghetto to comfort the children. This is during the Nazi period. And I said, we're going to sing this in the ghetto. And I purposely did not teach it to the choir in advance. I taught it to them on the bus trip on the way to the cemetery. So it would be the first time they ever sang it. We're singing this lullaby, and a blue butterfly comes along, settles on my shoulder while I'm conducting, and then goes over to the woman who's singing the solo and sits on her shoulder while she's singing. If you ever believed in reincarnation, in that spirits somehow were there, I mean, there it was. There it was. So we sang in Lodz, we went to Krakow, we piggybacked on the amazing Jewish culture festival that they have every summer in Krakow, wow. And all these Polish people who came to hear and dance to Jewish music. We sang in historic synagogues. We sang in Auschwitz. That was a wow. Singing by the rivers of Babylon, we sat down and wept in Hebrew, setting by Salomone Rossi. in Auschwitz. That's on the film, and it's one of the worst performances we've ever done of that piece because everybody is crying while they're singing. We went to Terezin, outside of Prague, the Terezin concentration camp, and we sang there. And we brought some of the music that was composed in Terezin, and again, bringing back the music that was of the people whose voices were silenced. We sang in the secret attic where they had done concerts in Terezin. That was a powerful, powerful trip because we connected with our roots. And I didn't want it to be a trip about the Holocaust. For me, it's about reviving, not giving Hitler the victory, reviving this wonderful culture that existed before the Holocaust and making sure that it is alive today.